What's up guys? In today's video we're going to do a quick little review on a couple Amazon welders. So this is a 110 fluzcore welder made by Display4Top, right around $100, and then this is a YesWelder from Amazon. It's 110 or 220 volt stick welder only, and that's around $100 also. So do a lot of welding, do a lot of beating on things to see if the weld holds. It's a good video, and if you're curious about Amazon welders, it's a pretty good overview on what 110 welders can do for you. So stick around. We are going to try out the little MIG welder. It's fluzcore welder. Really doesn't have any adjustment on our amps. It's adjustment on your feed rate. I don't think that adjusts your amps technically. So start right at 2 for now. That was pretty miserable. Turn that up to 3. Still not great. We'll just turn it all the way up and see what we can do. And that was a pretty bad weld, but it actually got hot. It's actually not doing a bad job right now. Might be a little hot even. Turn it down a little. I'm not gonna lie, this is working better than I thought it would. And that was actually a really good weld. I'm actually quite impressed with that. We're gonna try a little thicker stuff now. Pretty good and thick. It actually didn't do too bad. Really barely had the heat to do it. But it did do it. Uh-oh. Just got a bunch of junk on the end. Quit feeding. Okay. All right. Ready, Taylor?
Yeah. Ready. Whoa. Oh.
That's already pretty strong.
Are we trying to break it?
Trying to see how strong it is, yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Good Lord.
And it didn't crack down by the weld at all.
That's cool. Pretty crazy.
Yeah. All right. I didn't think it'd weld anything that thick. That's pretty good.
That's good to know.
Yeah. All right, I want to do a little bit more on this thinner metal. I feel like I didn't do it justice. Much better. Okay. It's actually a nice little welder. It's not gonna make real clean welds. I'm getting the hang of it, so I'm getting better at them, but it's still just not gonna make the cleanest welds. That one's pretty good there, but I mean, for $100 and 110, it's really, really good actually. All right, I'm actually very impressed with that. We have a $100 YesWelder off of Amazon. It's a stick-only version. I grew up stick welding. My dad grew up stick welding, so I just know how to stick weld better than I can MIG weld. So that's kind of why I wanted a stick welder. This has 110 or 220. Now we were debating just getting one of the old Lincoln Tombstone ones, because that's what we had on the farm, and we know that they'll run forever. But I mean, I used one of those, was 200, and then it weighs 50 pounds, and just wasn't quite as cool as getting a brand new one off Amazon for $100. That's pretty good. I like how light it is. Pretty long welding leads actually for how cheap this thing is. Doesn't seem bad. Okay, I got a big switch in the back. I do worry this dial won't work all the time. Has a lot more settings than the other one. And again, this Display4Top and the YesWelder were about the same price. You could have got a 4-in-1 YesWelder with built-in MIG fluzcore for $200, but since we already had this little one, we were just planning on stick welding with this. I'm gonna try somewhere around 70. That felt a little hot.
You gotta move her along, don't you?
That felt hot. Yeah, it's welding nice. That's pretty good to be able to weld that easily with sticks.
That's thin tubing too.
I mean, that's the best of all of them. Wire welder's just a little ugly. And this is 6013. Wanted a 6011, but 6013 will be alright. Let's see what we can do. Got this same 1/4-inch plate that I used on the other stuff. I don't think we need 145. Try around 100. I think it's still going to be a little ugly. My pool is creeping. That's a beautiful weld. Beautiful couple welds there. These two are not beautiful. Pretty ugly welds, but I think they're gonna hold. Let's see. There we go. Weld held. I kind of thought that weld was going to break, if anything was going to break.
It's not that pretty of a weld, but that
No.
held, isn't it?
Cool. All right, let's do some thicker stuff. So this was 1/4 inch. Let's see. It's 3/8 inch steel. Let's see what we can do with it. I feel like I wasn't getting the heat, so we'll just go all the way on this, and I want to do the second half all the way and just see what happens. All right, tripped a breaker, but that was burning awesome there. Right side, not enough heat. Left side, we had the heat. That's a beautiful weld. And again, this is on 110 still. I would say you could weld 3/8 inch stuff with this welder, but you need a better, we only got a 15 amp breaker. Quite impressed with it overall for 110. Oh, tripped the breaker.
Okay.
Looks like it's going pretty well though.
Was.
Yeah, that was a good one. I'm pretty impressed with
Well done there,
110.
little YesWelder.
110.
Never even heard of the brand, but so far so good.
Yeah, I think sweet. Well, we didn't really get to test it on 240, which is alright. Better than a tombstone one, Dad?
This has its place
Yeah.
for a small shop where you only have 120 volts available. That little welder will surprise you right there. Do most of everything you need to be done.
Alright guys, I'll wrap the video up here. Display4Top is the fluzcore MIG, and the YesWelder is a stick welder. YesWelder can do 240 or 120. We only got to use the 120, which is kind of a bummer, but it actually did really well even on 120, so I'm not disappointed with that thing at all. I bet if you got a good, reliable 240 plug, this thing would be absolutely awesome for the price that it is. Again, this was 100 bucks, I think 110, but it came with a coupon, so it was $100. Display4Top, got this a few years ago, but I'm pretty sure it's right around $100 also. I didn't really give this thing much of a shot until now. I think the big thing is it's got to get warmed up, and then it will cruise a lot better, and I never let it get warmed up. But for most of what you're doing, I mean, this is 1/4 inch steel, and it didn't get the penetration I'd like to see, but that's a strong weld. Honestly, for garage welder, this will do everything you need it to, and it's a real good running unit. You can adjust things. I think in a pinch, this would do everything you need it to also. It's just, I wish you could adjust it more than just this. Like, I want to have amperage adjustment separate from my feed and stuff like that, and this one's just a little lower end one than that. I think the YesWelder that came with the fluzcore capabilities was $200 or $300. I bet that'd be a pretty nice welder. We don't want to spend that kind of money on it. But we'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. We'll see you.